All right, so first thing we're gonna start with is
Daniel.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been captain of the Black Pearl?
I have, Captain Jack. I have. That's pretty good, isn't it?
That's good. He's a little hoarse because he was doing the classes.
Yes. They're more like guidelines than actual rules, per se. Welcome to the Black Pearl.
All right, what do we get?
I can also do anyway. Okay, so we're going to start with, and we'll bastard them one at a time.
Yeah.
First, well, not bastard, actually. First, we're going to full weddle Huey again, because this is another Nathan Huey.
Nathan Huey, you full... It's like, why, man?
This is not it. He brought like 7 more this week. Okay.
Is he trying to go for a level above?
Yeah, I think he's trying to top the weddle. Okay, so that brings us to a new point. But let's talk about whiskey first.
But thank you.
Yes, we're going to update the whiskey giving guidelines soon. Okay,
yes.
So we're going to start with Michter's 10.
Okay.
Now remember, Michter's actually has their own distillery now. And they have Pam Howman, their master distiller. They're making their own stuff, but they are still, for now, sourcing whiskey.
This is very common practice where when a distillery is getting established, they're starting to make their own barrels, but to have product to start building momentum, they're sourcing things. Mm-hmm. And Michter's was one of these big companies that was sourcing just to get the traction.
Michter's has relentlessly sourced amazing whiskey.
All right.
And
how have we not done
it openly and well?
How have we not done this whiskey?
I don't know.
Are you sure we have?
Now we've done a bunch of Michter's, but we haven't done the Michter's 10.
Interesting. I'm interested in the thing you just said.
Huh. There's this just deep dust corn.
Well, oiliness is you're playing with your fingers.
Yeah.
There, but you can smell.
You can feel just the residue.
You can, yeah. And look at the glass, man.
Oh man, the nose is beautiful.
It's so hard to show that kind of thing on camera, but on the glass,
solid line.
Yeah,
this is ringing in at 47.2%.
I mean, you take it up to an edge, and then right where the whiskey went up to, there's just like this hard line of oil that coats all the way underneath that. Oh,
there's this just deep brown sugar cinnamon,
let's
almost a.
We are in classic bourbon territory.
Yes, it's going to be hard to come up with varying notes, but there's a melon type note in there somewhere.
Classic bourbon territory. We're going to have classic bourbon notes, bourbon flavors, but the biggest ones in order for me are cherry and honey on the nose.
And I'm getting like cinnamon bread.
Okay, cinnamon bread.
Not just cinnamon, but like cinnamon sugar bread.
Okay. You're broken because you've had 100 whiskeys in the last 2 days.
It's very possible.
And then I get a little bit of the mature aged oak on the back end of that nose.
Oh, there's the 10-year-old. It shows up as the barrel rich, and it's not barrel bitter, it's barrel wood rich.
Ooh, brown sugar. Now it's brown sugar and honey, and then cherry is the underlying sweetness.
Yeah, but the barrel shows up right there at the end, but it doesn't linger bitter, it lingers sweet.
It lingers cherry sweet for me. Mm-hmm. It lingers cherry sweet for me.
Man, this is a really tastefully done mix.
Yeah, it's nice. Well executed.
I'm a fan. Okay.
Now, it's nothing, weird or exotic to write home about, but if you just like squarely right down the middle of the road,
damn good bourbon.
Classic bourbon territory.
So, remember, just to remind you, because we've said this for the last week now, we are doing a new style of comparing whiskeys. Mm-hmm. One is going to be one that we hope that you can find a little more easily. One you might never be able to get, depending on where you live.
Right.
But
why are we doing that, Daniel?
We're doing that to work our way through the more obscure donations that people have given.
Right.
To make more room, because we don't have any room anywhere in the whole tower.
Because
or my office.
Because the Rare Whiskey Friday is not. It's not getting through it.
It's not putting a dent.
No.
So we are not comparing.
Right.
Okay. Put down what you're doing. Look at me. All right? We are not comparing because we think these things probably taste the same,
right,
or are the same, or are even in the same category necessarily.
Well, usually
we are trying to keep them relatively the same category. Right. We are comparing just to see how different these things are.
Because one of the easiest things you can do, one of the best, most effective things you can do whenever you're tasting whiskey, is to not taste in a vacuum. Give yourself an A-B comparison. Because to try and remember, is this a lot of oakiness, or is this a less oakiness than a standard bourbon or a standard corn whiskey or whatever? Have another whiskey that you're comparing it to. You can be like, well, compared to this whiskey, And ideally, we're going to have a whiskey in there that people can get their hands on. So with that reference point, they'll be able to know what we're talking about with the other whiskeys.
And also, this is typically how people buy whiskey. They go in looking for the thing they know and love, and then some shop guy says, have you ever tried these guys? They're local, and they're doing blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You're like, sure. And that's how you end up with weird, varying whiskeys.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a ripe apple for me on the nose, man. Ripe apple, almost getting like a ripe green apple. Super ripe, almost too ripe green apple on the nose.
Yeah, but I'm getting all the good classic nice notes. No weird faults in that.
Yeah, no, it smells really nice. And this is not squarely down the middle of the road classic bourbon territory like the Michters. There are some unique things going on here.
Beautifully designed bottle. What I like about this is look what's on the sides.
What's that? Oh, like a thumbprint.
And a fingerprint.
Oh, right. Like, yeah, this is where you hold
That's where you hold it and pour it.
You chumps if you need guidelines, right?
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say, but it's not going to be right. I want to say there's almost a little bit of a brininess. Almost a little bit of a saltiness to that nose.
By the way, before we get into this, this is a new bastard. This is Terry Englert.
Terry Englert?
Yeah.
You magnificent bastard! I just kind of, you're already sipping because I know we got to get through it, but this nose is a unique for a bourbon nose. It's a unique nose.
I'm wondering if the taste is simplified, different, or the same, and it turns out the taste
light
matches the nose.
Okay, it's a light.
It's this weird, complex, light,
bright, fruity,
very spicy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like a ripe green apple, maybe a little bit of brininess. I don't want to go far as to say like a pickle. It's not a pickle.
No, but it's very spicy. Well done.
Ooh.
Man, there's been a handful of Wisconsin whiskeys we've been having that are just great.
Is very easily just a rounded off. It's got a rich flavor, and then it just kind of melts away. What was the proof on that? 48%.
Yeah, nice.
Man, that's getting up there, kinda. That's getting up there, kinda. But there's no bite, there's no alcohol burn that you would typically get from a 48% whiskey. And then once you drink it, you have it in your mouth.
Yeah.
You go back to the nose, and you can start to find the barrel.
It gets peppery spice after a little bit. And the aftertaste, just as you swallow it, it sort of rounds around your palate. It turns into black pepper and wood notes.
And now I can start to find the barrel and a little bit of brown sugar.
Yeah.
So once you have it in your mouth, the first thing that you find are these unique flavors. It's presenting to you, I think, a little bit different than it is for me. But when it's in your mouth, then you can start to find these things that are a little bit more classic. All around, damn good whiskey.
The difference is this one's much sweeter and lighter, even though it's 10 years old, which is a little bit surprising. And this one's a lot more black pepper and spicy on a bourbon note.
Now, we're on different wavelengths. This was a little bit...
No, go back to, as I'm saying. After sipping this, go back and take a sip, and you'll see that when you come back to the Driftless Glen, it's got these spiky, peppery, spicy notes that the Michter's doesn't have.
Spice, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to say black pepper. I would say spice, almost leaning more towards a rye spice. Almost.
It could be.
Almost a rye.
Could be.
Okay.
Rock and roll, man.
Damn, were there comments?
No. I didn't print any comments. I knew I was forgetting something.
Yeah, comments. I'll make up a comment. Hey, Daniel.
Yeah.
Why do you suck so bad you forgot to do comments?
Because things and
that was everybody said that.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal lovers' hearts.
And if you drink,
may you drink with us.
Yeah. Get some comments next time. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.